name is James Loyless Jr. I've been with Systems for 19 years today. I went to work there October 25th, 2004, so 19 years today. I went to work there, I was working for a construction company, and the man that owned the company passed away, and Mr. Charles called me to see if I would come to work for him, and I went over and talked to Mr. Charles and Chuck, and ended up going to work for them as a estimator and project manager. Worked there for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years as estimating. Well, back then we would estimate a job and we'd go project manage the job also. So I worked there for several years doing that, and then they promoted me up to the director of estimating, which I actually ran the estimating department for several years. And then some projects came up that needed some project directors on, so Chuck asked me to go out and do some project directing on some projects. So I went out and done that at several different jobs around the country, and kind of did that for a while, and then came back into the office and ran the estimating department again for a little while, and then went back out on projects again. So basically I've just been doing project management for the last several years, and that's it. It's a kind of a family-owned organization. I mean, when I came to work there, Mr. Charles and Chuck sat down and talked to me, and then I talked to Mike and Melinda. They were still there then, and I mean, they just brought me in and treated me like family. I was telling Lee a few minutes ago, I only had one regret when working for Systems Contracting, and that was the fact that Mr. Charles had called me and talked to me 2 different times over about a 5-year period about coming to work for him, and I didn't do it. And the only regret I have is that I didn't come earlier than I did, you know, because they treated me so well, just like family. So I mean, I wished I'd have came earlier than I did. I would say running different projects for Systems Contracting. Like I said, I did projects in steel mills and chemical plants and paper mills. I mean, back then, I mean, we worked anything that we could do. I mean, we worked in chemical plants, we worked in paper mills, worked in steel mills. I had a lot of pipeline experience, so from other companies that I worked for, so opportunity came up to build some compressor stations for a large gas pipeline organization. So Mr. Charles asked me if I would go and do those compressor stations, being I had the experience to do them, and we did. And I think we ended up building 4 different compressor stations over a 2 or 3 year period, and I actually managed all those projects. Just, you know, the way that they treated me. I mean, treated me like family, and I mean, I never had any problems. Of course, I always did my job, and I mean, Chuck and Mr. Charles, they took good care of me, and whenever Lee came on, I mean, he liked what I did, I suppose, because, you know, him and Chuck promoted me to estimating director, and we went from there and got a lot of jobs, and then went on to project director and directed a lot of work for them, and I would just say that, you know, it just the work atmosphere and the family atmosphere of working for them, and close relationship, and everything just worked out great. Well, I'm gonna retire end of this month, and my youngest son and I, we're leaving on the 3rd of November, headed to, I got a nephew that owns DBAT Corporation, and he's got a ranch and lease in Clarksville, Texas, so we're gonna leave on the 3rd and go to Clarksville, Texas for about 6 days. We're leaving from there, going straight on to Colorado for about 12 days. I'm doing some bow hunting and some fly fishing, and then we'll see what happens from there. Basically just, you know, recreation, hunting and fishing and working around the house. Well, if you get an opportunity to join Systems, I would recommend that you take that opportunity and go ahead and join up. They have some benefits that you'll want to participate in. You know, my recommendation is, I mean, if you're a young person joining in, you get on the 401k as quickly as possible, because I mean, I made the mistake of not doing that, and so I would say get onto that and make good of it. That's the reason that you know, I've looked at retiring like 4 different times, and I mean, Chuck and Lee would come to me and say, "Hey, we got this project. Can you go manage it?" And yes, I can, because I mean, they treated me so well that I felt like that you know, it was just an opportunity for me to give back to Systems Contracting for what they had given me over my lifetime.
I'm Terry Joyner, estimator with Systems Contracting, and I've known Jim Loyless ever since the first day he hired in 19 years ago. And it's been a joy to work for him and with him for the 19 years. And we're good friends on, at work, and after work. We fish together quite a bit. And hopefully after his retirement, we'll get to fish quite a bit more. He'll have time. But he's been I've learned a lot from him over the 19 years, and he's been wonderful to work with. Some of my best memories are when he and I and Steve Woods and all of us were in El Dorado. We always had a good time. We were laughing all the time. It was as much fun as it was work. So, Jim, enjoy your retirement, and it's well deserved.